Hello everyone, welcome back to Prince and Nikki's channel. Thank you for joining us today. Today we're continuing with Lashibi project. The project itself comprises of two 4-bedroomed home which are semi-detached. The home is beautiful modern design which has a double height living room, and it also has a spacious outdoor front parking area. You can see on your screen the floor plan for the ground floor, and then we also have on the screen coming up now is the upper floor with the bedrooms. This property also has a roof terrace. Before we get started, I just want to say thank you to the new subscribers from our last video. We continue to be grateful for all the likes and comments and sharing that you're doing on our videos. We're pleased to be bringing you this content and helping you to understand your own building process. So today's video we're going to be talking about the plumbing and the floor casting in the Lashibi project. So let's get into the video itself.
Hi everyone. As you know, before you start your plumbing works, getting ready for the casting, you must finish all your filling, compacting, and sand blending. The sand blending is whereby you put a fine sand, averagely between 50 mils to 75 mil, that is 2 or 3 inches, on top of your hardcore, well compacted. The purpose of this is to prevent the stones in your hardcore or the lateral piercing through the damp-proof membrane. If you don't do this, you just lay damp-proof membrane on top of the hardcore, there is a probability that the stones in it will pierce through your membrane, and that it will have water ingress onto your slab and eventually coming onto your room. So it's important always that you do a sand blending when you finish your lateral. Don't just listen to what the masons or the person overseeing the project for you will tell you that, oh, we don't do this, we just put a rubber on it. No, you need to sand blend. If we sand blend, you know that your membrane is not going to have holes in it, and then you have a problem in the future. Yes, as we said in the introduction, this is a 2 semi-detached building on a plot 70 by 100. So there's a lot of plumbing works to do. The design is such that there is a dedicated riser for all the plumbing works to go to the upper floors onto the ground. But as you will see in the later videos we'll be showing on this project, some of the toilets where they are quite far away, so not everything can conveniently run through this riser that is created. So the guys here are just doing the plumbing works now, and that's the master.
Yeah, this plumber has an apprentice on site as well.
Yeah, he's got lots of them. As you can see there. And this is what I like, is training a lot of people, giving them all the skills is needed for the next generation. Because Ghana need a lot of skilled tradesmen in order to deliver high quality homes. So yeah, it's great. He's got all those guys that are just plumbing, because we wanted this to be done the same day to get ready for the casting the following day. So he brought a lot of guys about, and it was great.
One thing to note is that it's really important that when you're doing your plumbing works that you make sure that they're purchasing the right pipes. You do need to make sure that they're getting pressure pipes. This will prevent any breakages and leakages in the future. You might think that, oh, it's not going to happen, but there's so many times where people have leaks under their house, and they have people that have to come and find the leak within their walls, within their floor, on compounds. It happens, so prevent that from the future and just make sure you put the right pipes in.
Yeah, you just insist, tell your plumber you want, or everything you want to do, you want to use high pressure pipes, Sometimes some of them they might even go to high pressure pipe and buy the cheap ones just to save cost. But you just need to make sure that someone else check their work, especially your site manager or foreman. Check the quality of what they're doing, because what you don't want is to have a lot of cheap pipes under your slab, which will cost you a lot of money if there is any issue to repair them.
So as you're preparing for the day where you're going to cast, there are a few considerations. Sometimes people prefer to do the casting over a couple of days where they're using one machine to do the mixing. On our particular personal project, we use two machines and twice the amount of men.
Yeah, and also all project we're doing use two machine because it's more economical and quicker.
Yeah, and I don't know, I think for me personally as well, I just feel that when you cast on the same day, the slab's all done on one and it cures at the same time. Yeah, I just feel that it's just more comfortable.
Yeah, I think if you got a bigger house, you're building a bigger house, anything more than a 3 bedroom house, you will need a two machine to cast in one day. Some people try to stretch the workers to say we use one machine from 8 to 6, but in most cases they couldn't finish it, and then the following day you still need to rent the machine and get the same people back. So why not just rent two machine and everyone is happy?
It works out itself anyway, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Because
it's
by the
cheaper.
time you get the guys back for a second day, you're going to pay that twice. So
Yeah.
it works out. So as you can see on this video here, they've started doing the casting. One thing I want to say on the image that's on your screen now is the DPM and how to lay this. With the DPM, it's really important that when you're casting your floor that you lay this in sections. What you want to aim for is that the DPM is not laid all over the sand blending and then you're pushing over the wheelbarrow and putting the concrete onto it. You lay that in sections to make sure that there's no damage on that.
Yeah, you must make all efforts to prevent anything that would damage the DPMs. You need to put bolts on it so that they will onto it. So it's very important that you protect that integrity of the DPM, because any holes in it, then it's ineffective.
So with the DPM, when you're putting it down on the sand blending, when you're overlapping it, you need to make sure that there's a 4-inch overlap between the two pieces, and then you need to also make sure that you use the right tape.
Yeah, there's a DPM tape that you use to tape all the joints, because you just can't lay the DPM down without taping the joints. Otherwise, the water will seep through. So you need to tape the joints of your DPM. Over here, the two teams are working starting from each end of the building. As you said, it's a two semi-detached house. So they started from each end of the building just to work faster, and then they met in the middle.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, I think that the aim with the DPM is obviously when you're laying that down, it's to stop the rising damp.
Yeah, it's also important that you get the right mix of concrete. Your engineer or your architect will specify what mix you should use. If you get the right mix, then you shouldn't have any problem with cracking of your slab or anything. But it's important to get the right mix of concrete. If in doubt, speak to your designer what mix of concrete you should use. Normally, the slabs or all your works will come with a strength of concrete specified. So based on the specification, the engineer will tell you what mix you should use in order to get that strength of concrete.
If you want to look at our own personal project where we spoke in detail about how our foundation slab, and we was really pleased with the outcome of the concrete strength and the mixes that we used, do head onto our channel. We do have different playlists on there. We have the client projects that we're doing, and we also have our personal projects. So if you go onto the playlist, head down to the beginning section where you'll see where we did our casting of the ground floor slab. That's got some useful information as well, so do check it out. Thank you for continuing to stick with us, guys. We do appreciate it. As we said previously, do continue to support us. If you are one of the 70% that continue watching us and haven't yet subscribed, we would appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button. If you are a new subscriber, comment below and just let us know, and we can give you a shout out and say thank you. The iron rods that you can see on the floor there are for ground floor beams, and we use the ground floor beams all the way around the edges, and also to use between the 2 4-bedroom semi-detached. There is a parting wall.
Yes, because those are two separate wall built close together with a gap of 4 inches between them. The architect decided we were recommending that they use some insulation between the two buildings, but architect decided that is not needed. But I would say this is the first time I've seen a design that is kind of in line with what is done in Europe or America, whereby you got two different buildings, semi-detached, whereby there is a 2-block wall effectively separating the apartment to control sound.
Yeah, I think if you're building apartments or you're looking at 2 semi-detached houses, I would definitely consider having separate walls. You might think it's a small difference, but actually when you're thinking about soundproofing and noise, it's quite important in the process.
Yeah, all you don't want is the neighbor talking and you can hear every word of them.
No, I'm more thinking about music, music and wake-ups. One thing I notice with the ground floor slab, once you've done this on your own personal project, it does swallow up a large sum of your money with the ground floor to get out the actual ground. The foundation digging and the block work filling in the slab is a lot of money, and it makes you feel, oh my gosh, this is going to be so expensive, but it does get easier.
Yeah, I think it's the foundation is the first hit, isn't it? You spend a lot of money, you don't see anything really for it until all the casting is done and you can see a slab. Then they say, okay,
But it feels,
I've crossed a major.
it feels like all your
hurdle.
money's in the ground, doesn't it? Because you literally just have the slab and you think, where's all the money? But what I will say is, once you've done the floor slab, I would try to pull the funds together and continue with your block work till you get to the lintel level. So keep pushing, guys, you'll get there. As you see here, the porch looks quite low to the ground, but I just want to point out all this land around is actually infilled from when they did the digging, so that's going to be significantly lower once it's leveled out. So that brings us to the end of the video today. Thank you for watching. If you've got any questions about the casting, do hit us up. Thank you for watching.
Thank you. Bye.